What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room, episode 333. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. Welcome to the War Room, and we have finally decorated for the holidays, although some of the decorations are getting messed up because of the Christmas pugs that are here in the studio with me. Hey, guys, you can't hurt the nutcrackers. The show just started. Can you not do that? Show everybody your Christmas sweaters, that you're all dressed up for the show. Say hi to everyone. Welcome, everybody, to the War Room. I'm Mistress Carrie, in case you didn't know, if I showed up in your algorithm. This is where we meet on Tuesday nights at 8:30. We've been doing it for 333 episodes. And allow me to introduce you to the co-host. This is Wednesday. You can find her on Instagram at Wednesday the Goth Pug. This is her little sister Friday, who has not yet behaved herself enough to be able to earn her own social media. So we stream live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube pretty much every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern. Got to say what's up to Brett and Carol, Lisa and Eric, Alexis and Ash. Also Kim and Sherry and Melissa joining us. B. Polly on Instagram. Let's see. Sherry says, oh, adorable. Nice sweaters, girls, says Britt. What's up, Keith? Dina Smith joining us on YouTube. So the girls have been a little chilly, depending on where you're watching from. It's been cold in the Northeast, and it was 4 degrees last night. And so the dogs get to the point where they get chilly enough where they allow me to dress them. And so they have actually been wearing sweaters all day, and they love them. I took their harnesses off after I took them inside, and they love having the sweaters on. So they have been, do you want to say hi? Go ahead. No, don't lick the microphone. That's not what, you're not supposed to lick that. But they have been warm and snuggly in their Christmas sweaters, and they wanted to make sure that they were dressed appropriately for the show, since we finally have the War Room tree up here in the War Room. Got to say what's up to Joe Rock on Facebook. Bish says, at this point, you're basically family. Yeah, exactly. Love your sweater, says Donna. MC, I might have walking pneumonia, says Carol. No way. What did you do? Did you lick something weird? Did you not wash your hands, Carol? What did you do? Hold on. All of my nutcrackers, they were all centered before, but now they're not. I had them all up here, and the dogs have knocked them over like 5 times. This one you can't see. This one's supposed to go over here. Okay, now you can see all that. There we go. Now you can see all the nutcrackers again. It just became a thing that all of a sudden I started finding all of these military-themed nutcrackers, and now I have quite a few of them, and they usually are on the table that the camera and the computer are on here in the War Room. But there's also a War Room tree that is filled with military-themed ornaments that my mom bought me years ago. And so that's up here as well. It's like a black iron tree. Maybe I'll give you guys a little video behind the scenes tour after the War Room tonight. Sherry says, tonight I baked, first time making vanilla cupcakes and frosting from scratch, and it tasted pretty good. Nice job, Sherry. It is like baking soup season, and with the holidays coming, my sister and I last weekend, we made way too much banana bread because we had been saving all of these bananas that were, as soon as they start to go to the point where you don't want to eat them and put them in your cereal anymore, we stick them all in the freezer, and then we make massive batches of banana bread. And so we did that. Let's see. What's up, Silver? What's up, Aaron on Instagram? Sorry, I'm trying to read your handle there. What's up, Lou, watching on Instagram as well. Let's see. Jessica says, happy unbirthday, Keith, already. So the dogs wanted to be festive like the War Room, because the War Room and the rest of the house is now decked out for the holidays. I finally, as of this weekend, got all of the holiday decorations up, albeit a little bit late. And so they wanted to be festive. They have Christmas sweaters with Santa on them, but we're not going to bust those out quite yet. These are the the ugly Christmas sweater versions, but they have wanted to be warm. And so they got the sweaters on. And Mike Shue says the dogs hate wearing clothes, but they have been so happy wearing sweaters all day. I can't even tell you. It was 4 degrees last night. They need sweaters. So let's see. Sherry says, you're very welcome, everybody. So if you're new to the War Room, we get together to talk about music. We talk about life. We have become an online family and support group. We celebrate our wins. We mourn our losses with each other. And basically, it's a chance for all of us to get together and talk about whatever's going on. And for anybody that loves like rock and metal music, this is a weekly live Ask Me Anything where you can ask me about what's going on with music, with bands, what albums are coming out, what tours are getting announced, and also a chance for me to be able to tell you where you can find me on the radio, because there are still a lot of people that sometimes some of my content will go viral and then people are like, wait, where did Mistress Carrie go? So allow me to fill you in. You can hear me every weekday on 98 Rock in Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston's best rock. You can listen online at my98rock.com and download the 98 Rock app. Today, we started our Welcome to Rockville contest, which is the 4-day music festival that happens in May at the Daytona International Speedway. So the road to Rockville goes through Charleston. So if you want to win a pair of 4-day passes, which is, by the way, worth about $900, we're giving those away. You can hear me every weekday afternoon on 100 FM The Pike. You can listen at pikefm.com or download the Pike app. And we got to say what's up once again to everybody over at Boston Lawnmower. They hooked me and Mike Shue up with these amazing snow throwers. We're giving one of these Aaron snow throwers away. And so they're letting Mike Shue and I run them through the paces all winter long. And that included making a path around the yard. It's like a little pug racetrack around the yard because the snow was so deep last week that their little legs couldn't make it. Yes, I know. Tell them. Their little legs couldn't make it through. So we took the snow thrower and we made a giant path for them. So the thing is awesome. And they decked it out with the Mistress Carrie logos. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Travis says, singing Christmas carols. Travis, you good? I haven't seen you in a while. Let's see. Alexis says our 17-year-old Chihuahua Min Pin mix loves her sweaters. Yeah, a Chihuahua Min Pin. Yeah, they need a sweater. Those dogs are tiny and chilly all the time. You're vertical now. Wait, was I not vertical before? Lou, what are you saying? What happened? Was it when I had did it get weird now? And it's better now, like this? Is that what you're saying, Lou? Let's see. 2 degrees in Western Mass, says Lou. Yeah, I know, exactly. Betty says, I was plagued with anxiety the last 2 nights. It's crazy. I never had it before. Betty, they say that people's body changes like every 7 years. Like you can have allergies and then they go away. You can not have allergies and then you get some. So, it doesn't surprise me that there are people that don't have migraines their whole lives and then they hit a certain age and they get migraines. So the fact that anxiety can just kind of show up, that doesn't surprise me. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but you were horizontal before. Okay, that's weird. Wendy says, got my Jack Rack. It's awesome. Thank you very much. If you're new, we'll talk about some of the new merch that's in the online store coming up in a few minutes. I couldn't only see Wednesday. Oh, that's weird. She's sitting right here, but Friday has monopolized my lap. Eric says, life has been crazy. My dad's best friend, who's a Marine, went to his local VA hospital, called them where they could find his body. Wait, he shot himself in oh my God, Eric, are you serious? My dad is 45 and retired, and he's now the legal guardian for my friend's 6-month-old baby. Oh my God, and my dad. Eric, I am so sorry. Oh. Jessica says, how is your weather in Massachusetts? It's cold here in Kentucky. It's cold pretty much everywhere, Jessica. I hate to tell you, but it's freezing everywhere. Marcy says it's 25 in Framingham, 8 degrees when I left for work today. He says, Keith, wait, you're not a doctor? I thought you played one on TV, says Bish. Lou says, now you're back to normal. Interesting. Harold says, I went to Bowling Green a few months ago, might relocate. Really? You liked it that much, Carol? Mr. Voorhees says hello. Brett says, how is Mr. C doing in Hawaii? So there is a chance that Mr. C and members of the Scout Sniper Association who are on a Gold Star family retreat in Hawaii could be watching right now. I talked to them a little while ago. They were on the North Shore surfing. So that's how Mr. C is doing right now. He's volunteering for a week for a Gold Star family retreat, which is fantastic. So let's see. Betty says it's the bypass surgery I had. They tell me it's major surgery rather to not think about what I got done so I can rock on. Yeah, I totally get that when you have a little bit of a health scare and you have a surgery and then you're kind of afraid. It's like if you break a bone, you're afraid to walk on it once it's healed because you don't trust the healing of it. You had surgery and it takes a little bit to kind of trust that surgery fixed what was wrong and that you're no longer in danger. So I totally get that. Let's see. You guys are my comic relief tonight, says Eric. Eric, we got you, man. If you need comic relief, if you need snoring pugs in Christmas sweaters, like what? Yes, I know. You're so beautiful. Your sweater's a little bit stretched out, though, because you guys have been fighting and playing tug of war, but you look so very pretty. Eric just needs a little pug love Wednesday. See? There you go. All right, so let's finish up with the list of places you can find me. So once again, 100 FM The Pike every weekday afternoon at pikefm.com and on the Pike app. You can hear me every weekday afternoon on 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine. You can listen on the free Bone app or just go to 1063thebone.com. You can stream the station that way. And every weekday morning on Laser 99.3 and 98.5, Mornings with Mistress Carrie. Download the free Laser app or you can stream at laser993.com. So let's see. Dean says, hello, Carrie. What's up, Dean? Melissa says, driving to Brooklyn, New York tomorrow morning from my dad's burial. I'll be listening to you on Laser. Can you maybe send a couple songs out to me if you remember? Hell yeah, Melissa. Absolutely. Eric says, I'm currently snuggling with one of my land hippo pit bulls. Sherry said, today is my uncle's birthday. He died 7 months ago of cancer at 56 years old. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it just feels like you get to a certain time of the year and like all of this kind of sadness hits you. My uncle's funeral is later on this week. He passed the day after Thanksgiving, and we're 10 days away from the 1-year anniversary of the passing of my mom, which does not seem possible that it's been a year already, but it has been. And so it's just, the holidays just make it worse. It makes the grief worse. It makes the sadness worse. It makes the loneliness worse, especially if you're in a place that's cold because you don't have all of like the warm weather distractions and you are being barraged by people in your life. And they're not doing it maliciously, obviously, but people that are on social media showing how perfect their lives are, which we all know that's not real, and how perfect their holidays are. And so it just makes all of this stuff, it makes the loss so much harder. What's up, Mr. Cole? Says, hello, peoples. Betty says, Sherry, sorry for your loss. Cancer takes too many. It's like a war with cancer. It's hard. It absolutely is. What? You're very clingy today, Friday. Like you guys are usually playing and whatever, but no, they just want to sit here in their sweaters. Bish says, Carrie, mom is getting treatment tomorrow at Dana-Farber for leukemia. Any chance we can give her some love tonight? She's a badass. Bish, if your mom's in the middle of cancer treatments, first of all, she's your mom, automatic badass status. Second of all, she's battling leukemia, absolutely badass status. So we got to send Bish's mom some love tonight because she's going in for a treatment tomorrow. You got this, and fuck cancer because it takes too many people. Aaron says 100% stuck inside watching everyone else have fun. I totally get it. Mr. C right now is in Hawaii surfing. So I get it. I have serious FOMO right now. Miss being on here weekly for the whole show, says Shane. Tough with the new job. You know what, Shane? Like a new gig that Wednesday is climbing on a pile of pillows on the end of the couch and snuggling up to take a nap. Don't complain about having a new gig. Things are really hard for a lot of people right now. So if you've got a new job that's taking you away from normal schedule, that's a good thing. Not that you're missing us, but that you've got a new job. I hope you like it. I hope that it's making you happy. Mr. Cole says, wreaths across America stopped at Polar Park today for the flag waving ceremony and to visit with a couple of Gold Star moms. Very cold, but very cool. 14 tractors full of wreaths and 45 support vehicles. That is amazing. And if anybody has ever seen the volunteer days that they do at veteran cemeteries in our nation's cemeteries, the Wreaths Across America, like thousands and thousands of people around the country volunteer to put wreaths on every single military grave in every veteran cemetery around the country for the holidays. And then they go and pick them all up and recycle and compost them and feed them to goats and do all kinds of amazing stuff. So Lou says, new job is an awesome thing. Exactly. Daniel says, good evening from Gilbert, Arizona. Miss you. Thanks for all you do. Daniel, tell us how warm it is in Arizona right now, because it is definitely not warm in the Northeast. Bish says, if Mr. C doesn't bring back warm weather when he comes back, immediate court-martial. Yeah, he's under orders to bring me back a lot of stuff, actually, to be honest. So he's got a pretty long list. Mr. Cole says heading to Arlington for December 13th. Yeah, and if Friday, you're going to get down? Do you want to go snuggle with Wednesday? Go ahead. Come over here and sit down so everybody can see you. Hold on, let me turn the... There she is with all of her Christmas toys. See, I got all your Christmas toys out. You're being very good. Maybe the sweater makes you a little mellow, but you're nice and warm. Come on, lay down. Lay down. She hasn't learned down yet. So, let me see if I can. There, see Wednesday over there? Hiding in the pillows. All right, so we got a lot of stuff we got to talk about, but first we need to dig into another one of these new bartending books that got brought back from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Thank you, Melissa. We always do a cocktail recipe here in the War Room, and normally they come out of bartender books, but these are music-themed bartender books that got brought back from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experienced? You'll be able to tell exactly why I picked this drink. Look at that thing. It's purple. It's fancy. It has garnish. Okay. It is Purple Haze. It says a cocktail is a drinkable lava lamp. This is 1.5 ounces of gin, 0.5 ounce of butterfly pea simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, lemon peel for garnish. Stir the gin and butterfly pea simple syrup with ice. Strain into a cocktail glass. Add lime juice. Garnish with a lemon peel. And obviously some flowers. Now, I have no idea what that butterfly simple syrup is, but this is how it says to make it. A cup of hot water, a half a teaspoon of butterfly pea powder, and a cup of sugar. I am assuming butterfly pea powder is purple. Oh, wait, that's the wrong page. Like, it has to be purple, right? To make that drink. So it's basically gin with simple syrup and lime juice with lemon for a garnish. And this also looks like it has a marigold or some kind of flower of some kind in there. But look at how pretty that is. So the Jimi Hendrix Experience, Are You Experienced? And that is the Purple Haze. So rock and roll themed cocktails. Very cool. Let me catch up with the comments. Lou says, Purple Haze. Love the color of that drink. Are we going to sing Happy Unbirthday to Keith? When we get to the birthdays, you guys don't want me to sing for you. Shane says, promethazine and codeine. Are you talking to me? Mixed LSD and a garnish, says Bish. Does it have crushed ice? Tracy, we all agree that crushed ice is the best ice. Don't mind me. You're sitting on the cord to my headphones, Friday. Okay, now you can sit down. Okay. You just want to sit on the lap? Do you want to? Go ahead. Make noises for everybody. Go ahead. Eric, that'll cheer you up. Some pug snorting. Let's see. Are you saying butterfly pea? No, PEA, not pee, like urine pee. Let's see. It's a tea. It's pink until you put citrus juice and then it turns purple. No way, Julie Constantine on YouTube. There you go. It's pink and then it turns purple with citrus. That's why it turned purple. Friday, I'm very happy that you're comfortable on my lap, but you're making it hard to push the buttons. But you're very beautiful. Yes, you are. And you're all snuggly in your sweater. All right. So let's recap last week's podcast episode. The guys from Revis joined me on episode 287. There were a lot of people that did not remember the name of the band, but when they heard the song Caught in the Rain, they were like, oh, I remember that song. Because AAF played the hell out of that song in like 2003. That's the song that broke them. That's the song that broke the record. They played it acoustic on my show a couple times. They came through Boston and New England a bunch of times on tour. And then when they went in to record their sophomore album, things got weird with the band because they got so popular so quick and they broke up. And 22 years later, they just released their sophomore album, Killing Time. Justin and Robert talked all about how they went to school together, like junior high school together. So for the band to break up, it was really hard on both of them. And now they're in a place where they are so happy that the band is back together. And I always loved that song, Caught in the Rain. Like I listen to that song over and over again. And the acoustic version was fantastic too. So I was super happy that the guys from Revis not only are back together, but also that they wanted to come on the show. Brand new episodes come out every Wednesday. So tomorrow, episode 288 of the Mistress Carrie podcast comes out. And Des Rocks, who was on episode 161, is back on the show to talk about his new song and the video game that it's a part of. He's also just wrapping up recording his new album, talking about the collaborations that are on his wish list, talking about the tours that are on his wish list. And if you are not familiar with Des Rocks, I know that there are people that are like, there's no new music coming out, that you may not have heard of him or seen him live. His band is a 3-piece band. He plays guitar and sings, and they are one of the best new bands of the last 5 years. They are unbelievable live, incredibly charismatic, super fun, high energy. And it's like a little Springsteen and a little Elvis and a little modern rock. It's New York based, so it's got some flavors of like Ramones and punk in there, which we actually talked about in this week's episode. So if you have not yet checked out Des Rocks, check out this week's episode. Episode 288 of the Mistress Carrie podcast is out at midnight, and the corresponding playlist is going to have a bunch of Des's music on there and also a bunch of the music we talked about, his influences and inspirations, and just some of the bands that he's toured with. And if you're not a Des Rocks fan and you missed him the last time he was on the podcast, you definitely got to check him out because he is awesome. Snug like a pug in a rug, says Hillary on Instagram. Yeah, exactly. She's like literally falling asleep on my lap right now, just in her little sweater, just living the pug life over here. Dawn says, good evening, Mistress Carrie and War Room friends and family. Rachel says, butterfly pea goes great to make purple lemonade for summer. And Rachel put up a link. I am assuming it's something you can get fairly easily. Where does one get butterfly pea? PEA, by the way. Travis says, could I make a request for Devin Townsend? I have been listening to Retinal Circus live and I love it. Look, I would have him on the podcast in a heartbeat if he wanted to come on the show. Jessica says, Jelly Roll looks amazing. Absolutely. Mr. Cole says, great seasonal video. So I love the fact that you guys always put these links up there, because then the people that always come and watch the War Room after the fact, people will watch it like tomorrow morning while they're getting ready for work because they couldn't watch it now or whatever. Like there's always people that watch it after the fact and go back through all of those links and stuff. So Lou says, okay for the clarification. Friday. Are you comfortable? Do you know how heavy 20 pounds is after a while of just sitting on my lap? You're nice and warm, though. It's nice. All right. One thing I wanted to talk about, we had a Backstage Pass live stream over the weekend with the Backstage Pass holders, and we talked a little bit about this. But after the War Room last week, Spotify released all of their Wrapped data. If you're not familiar, Spotify does this in December every year, releasing musician stream numbers and all of the podcast creators' numbers for the years. So I wanted to share the Wrapped data with you guys. So for 2025, even though it's not quite the end of the year yet, but from mid-December of last year to mid-December of this year, total audience up 19% for the podcast. Total new audience up 999% for the Mistress Carrie podcast. And listening hours on average 1.4 thousand. So pretty badass. What I thought was interesting was people that listen to, hold on, I need to make this bigger. People that listen to the Mistress Carrie podcast, their favorite band on average is Ghost, and their favorite audiobook this year was Fahrenheit 182, Mark Hoppus from Blink 182, which is pretty badass. I have not yet read that book, but I heard it's great. The top 5 countries in the audience for the Mistress Carrie podcast: the United States, Ireland, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Canada. And these were the awards that the citations. Hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger. Moving all of these things around. These are some of the badges that they give you. 2025 Marathon Show, that it's a fan favorite and talked about show. So these little award things you get for the way that people listen from one episode to the next, and then that they listen all the way through, and that also that they're commenting and the social media reaction that you're getting out of it. So Bish says Spotify thinks I'm 24 with my Wrapped data. Oh no, 54 with my Wrapped data. Spotify told me I was 21 as a listener with the stuff that I listen to, which I thought was kind of hilarious. Yes. Oh, okay. She's leaning in. Let's see. Eric says it's always around this time of year that the music industry shuts down until the Grammys. Yeah, definitely the last 2 weeks of December, the music industry shuts down for sure. Shane says my number one artist was Architects this year. Gil on Instagram watching, putting up Brazilian and U.S. flags on there. So I am assuming you're listening from Brazil. Shane says number 2 podcast was Mistress Carrie. Shane, who was your number 1? Let's see. Hillary says Spotify says my listening age is 26, which is pretty good. So I just wanted to thank everybody for all of the love for the podcast this year, which is fantastic. And by the way, if you listen to the podcast, you get the weekly episodes on Wednesdays. You also get the Sit Rep, which is rock news, music headlines, and entertainment updates. It's about 5 minutes long, and you get it Monday through Friday. You also get a mini Sit Rep all day long on Laser 99.3 and 98.5 in Springfield, and also on 106.3 The Bone in Portland, Maine as well. And podcast outlets, all of them, all the major podcast outlets, no matter where you want to listen to your favorite podcast, you'll find the Mistress Carrie podcast. Just search for it. When you find this artwork right here, you know you're in the right spot. You can also listen as part of the Pantheon Podcast Network. You can listen to all of the episodes in full on YouTube. And if that fails, you can just go to mistresscarrie.com, find the episode you want to listen to, and click play. Let's see. Hillary says, what is gothic country? Lou says, I got 67 years old. Bish says, my number 1 artist was Metallica. Bish, did you see the Wrapped data for Metallica? 2.2 billion streams, 27,000 years worth of Metallica music was streamed in 186 countries. I've got 149 countries on the Mistress Carrie podcast. Metallica got 186. Crazy. Aaron says, thanks for going live and interacting with us. Aaron, we've been doing this for 333 episodes. We do it every Tuesday night, or almost every Tuesday. I am allowed to cancel the show sometimes for whatever reason. Sickness, concerts, family drama, whatever. If you're celebrating your birthday today on December 9th, Trey Cool from Green Day, Jacob Dylan, Brian Bell from Weezer, Paul H. Landers from Rammstein, Nick Seymour from Crowded House, Thomas Price from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and Dennis Dunaway from the Alice Cooper Band that we just had on the podcast earlier this year. They all share your birthday today. So if today's your birthday, happy birthday. Happy unbirthday, Keith. Shane says, my number 1 podcast was Mr. Balin. Well, as long as I'm your number 2, I'll take number 2. Eric says, my dad and I share our Amazon Music account. Top artists were Gaga, Ozzy, Marilyn Manson, Avenged Sevenfold, and Kids Bop. The littles listen to the music too, unfortunately. Brett says, did you watch the BBC Ozzy documentary? I have not watched it yet. No, I have not had a chance to watch it yet, but I saved the link so that I can definitely check it out later. So hold on, Friday. I need to be able to hit the buttons, baby. She is like literally like sitting like a baby right now, just dead weight in my arms, all snuggled. She's so happy in the sweater. Sorry, Mike Shue, but the pugs are happy being warm. So happy unbirthday, Keith. Cheers to you. I would cheers you, but my drinking is being curbed by the big fat pug on my lap right now. Okay, some music headlines to go over. I am halfway through. This is part of the reason why I didn't watch the Ozzy doc. I wanted to start the Diddy doc series on Netflix. I am halfway through. And let me just tell you, do not screw with 50 Cent, who's the executive producer of this 4-part Diddy documentary. So last week we talked about it, that Diddy's lawyers were trying to file a cease and desist against this docuseries from coming out because it features all of this Diddy footage that Diddy actually filmed himself. He had a documentary film crew following him around the week before he got arrested. And he was going to use the footage to kind of showcase like what it was like to like fight the charges. And Diddy got arrested the next week. Then he went on trial. Then he was convicted and now he's in jail. Diddy and 50 Cent have hated each other for like 20 years. And if you ask 50 Cent why, because a lot of people have been, which by the way, 50 Cent's been doing interviews on network television that he knows they get in prison to make sure that Diddy sees his interviews, because you don't screw with 50 Cent. He's playing chess right now. But he basically said that he's known Diddy was a creep for years. And he was very open and honest about the fact that Diddy was a creep. He said that when he started getting really huge and famous, that Diddy told him that he wanted to take him shopping. And 50 Cent was like, you don't take a grown man shop, like clothes shopping. Like you take a woman shopping. Like 50 Cent thinks that Diddy was trying to groom him into getting into the freak offs and stuff. And that weirded him out that Diddy offered to take him shopping. So he was like, hell no. And from then on, he was like, Diddy is weird. I don't want to be anywhere near him. And he wasn't afraid to say it. So what happened was, the documentary film crew that Diddy hired, he signed all the releases. He gave this documentary film crew access. They were in his apartment, in his hotel rooms, in his vehicles. He did sit down interviews with them. Then he got arrested. Then he went on trial and then he was convicted. But he never paid the documentary film crew for the work that they did before he got arrested. And because he didn't pay for the footage, he doesn't own it. And so 50 Cent paid for the footage from the documentary crew that followed Diddy around, that was originally sought out by Diddy, and 50 Cent bought all the footage, and it makes Diddy look terrible. Like, he looks like the worst human being on the planet. It goes back to the Biggie stuff, to the Tupac stuff, to how he handled like Faith Evans and like all of this stuff. It's unbelievable. There's a ton of stuff that I didn't even know in there because like I was not following 90s hip hop as closely as a lot of other people were because I wasn't a hip hop fan back then. So still really not, but I know more about it now than I used to. Mark says, Carrie, can we still hope to reach a level of petty that 50 Cent has? Look, 50 Cent's level of petty is something to be studied in a class at Harvard. Like, this guy has a memory. This guy seeks revenge in the most epic ways possible. And not only is he executive producing this docuseries, but he hired a female director to do it on top of everything else. It goes into how Diddy worked his way up in the industry, like how he used to steal other people's girlfriends. Like, it goes into how he was raised with his mom and old interviews with his mom talking about how she was raising him, about what a dirtbag his dad was. Like, it goes into all of this stuff to kind of put the puzzle pieces together of why Diddy is such a shitbag. It's insane, this docuseries. I'm only halfway through, but it's crazy. Joe Perry giving us a little hope in Guitar World magazine. In an interview, he was asked if it's possible that this EP with Youngblood is the final new Aerosmith. Joe Perry said, if it is, I'm okay with that because I think it's great. But he also said he doesn't think he's retired, that he's having a ton of Zoom conversations with Steven Tyler. Steven doesn't think he's retired, and that conversations about a lot of things are happening, including possibly putting together a final show that would be in conjunction with a documentary that tells the band's story, which is kind of interesting. Also, a ton of concerts got announced over the last week, including Avenged Sevenfold and Triumph and Slaughter to Prevail. I've got a bunch of additions in all of the concert listings coming up. And the Kennedy Center Honors happened over the weekend. And the reason why I brought it up is that they have not aired the performance yet. I'm very curious because it deviates from the norm, because this time around, the entire thing was put together by the president. He emceed it. He picked who got the honors, like handpicked who got the honors this year. It wasn't done with the Kennedy Center panel. It was just who he thought should have them. And like, I think it was Garth Brooks that paid tribute to Kiss. Like, I just thought it was really strange the way that they kind of did it this year. The other thing that I thought was strange is that they gave out the medals in the Oval Office, which to my knowledge, I thought they gave them out at the Kennedy Center. Now, the day before the Kennedy Center Honors, they did the draw for the groups for the World Cup at the Kennedy Center. So maybe that's why they did it that way. I don't know. But the thing that I thought was really crazy is that Gene Simmons took the interview time around the Kennedy Center Award this weekend to blame Ace Frehley basically for his own death, which I thought was really weird. Now, they attribute Ace Frehley's death to a fall that he took. He was 74. And Gene Simmons basically came out and said that Ace's life choices are what killed him and that people don't die from falling. And I don't know if Gene Simmons hasn't seen the stats on elderly, and yes, Ace Frehley at 74 is considered elderly. When my mom was still alive and she fell and broke her hip, the doctors told us that like 70, I think the stat was like 79% of elderly people that fall and break a hip die within a year. Like, the stat is astronomical for hip fractures. And my mom got a new hip and went through rehab, and we really tried to get her kind of back on track, but she didn't die from breaking her hip, but that stat is pretty accurate. So I couldn't understand why Gene Simmons would take the opportunity while being given one of the most prestigious art awards in the United States, literally by the president in the Oval Office, to basically blame Ace Frehley for falling and dying and saying that people don't die of falls. They die of falls literally every day. And, you know, like, my mom had osteoporosis. Like, was that her fault? Could she have, like, maybe taken some vitamins and eaten some more cheese? Yeah, okay. But enough that you would blame her after she died for her own death? I just thought it was really weird and vindictive and strange that he would take that time and opportunity to kind of blame Ace for his own death. Mr. Voorhees says a huge number of people are killed by falls. I know. And I thought that was common knowledge, that it's like the most dangerous thing in the world for older people to fall. Not just to break a hip, but their bodies are just more fragile. And they believe that Ace had, I believe they attribute his death to an aneurysm from hitting his head because he fell. Like, that, how is that a life choice problem for Ace? Hillary says genetics plays a large role too. That's so weird. Lou says he cried for Ace and then he shit on him at the event. Yeah, that's the thing that I don't understand, is that I don't understand why. One of two things, right? Like, here's my question. If you hated him so much that you want to motherfuck him in death, I'm petty. I get it. If you guys had a falling out that was that bad, then why were you so glowing about what a great guy he was and his part of Kiss's legacy when he died and at the funeral? And if what you said at the funeral was right, that like he was a great guy and a family man and a musical legend, then why would you motherfuck him after his death when you're getting an award that he also, Ace's daughter posthumously accepted the Kennedy Center honor on behalf of her dad at the event. So it's like, did you not think that the family was going to hear? Like, I just don't understand. Lou says it's disgusting, Carrie. Gene Simmons sucks. Yeah, like, I'm trying to figure it out. And like, look, I'm Sicilian and Portuguese. Holding a grudge in death, I get that. Like, I'm still filled with rage with a lot of people that are no longer here for me to be mad at anymore. But that's just how I am. And maybe I should learn to let it go. But that lesson's not going to happen today. So I just don't understand the two-sidedness. Like, the people in my life that I despise are very well aware that I despise them. I wouldn't go to their funeral and sing their praises and then motherfuck them and say that their death was their own fault. I just wouldn't say nice things about them at all. So I just don't understand. Shane says, I have bitterness towards people, but I'm not going to cry for them when they die. That's the thing. That's the dichotomy of the whole situation that I just don't get. It's like Ace just died. The funeral was just 6 weeks ago? And so we all saw you crying at the funeral and now you're blaming his death on him and his poor life choices. Look, there's a lot of water under that bridge with those guys, and I'm not obviously privy to any of the drama that happened. I just don't get it. Maybe all of the autopsy stuff isn't back yet. Was Ace drunk and he fell? Was he high and he fell? Like, I have no idea. But at that point, isn't it kind of late to like a motherfuck him at that point? Like, I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was weird, which is why I put it up here to talk about it today, just because Gene went out of his way to talk about it over the weekend. So I just thought it was weird. All right. A ton of shows have gotten announced. The concert listings, the tours that are hitting North America are insane. Machine Gun Kelly is in town this week at the TD Garden. The Touch Tunes jukeboxes around the country released their data for the most popular songs of the year. And the most popular new rock song of 2025 was Machine Gun Kelly and Jelly Roll, Lonely Road. Out of all of the new rock songs, that one people paid the most to play on Touch Tunes jukeboxes. Nine Inch Nails, Bad Omens, Weird Al, Iron Maiden, and Bush are all heading to the TD Garden in the new year. Let's see. Jessica, did I miss? Hold on. The comments are coming in so fast. I can't keep track of them here. Bish says, Carrie, Diddy had Biggie killed and then charged the funeral to the family. Yeah, Bish, that's all part of the docuseries on Diddy, is that he played off that he was like his best friend and basically said that he was going to throw like this big giant funeral celebration on behalf of Biggie. And then he charged Biggie, the artist, of revenue that his music was making to pay for the funeral, that his family ended up paying for the funeral, which is just crazy. DCU Center's got Bring Me the Horizon and Journey coming to Worcester in the new year as well. Eric says 50 Cent was asked on Colbert who his favorite horror movie villain was, and he said he likes Diddy. Let's see. Carol says, I remember Gene Simmons made Greg Hill take the cap off the pen. Actually, Carol, I think he made LB take the cap off his pen, which I could not believe like LB did it. But yeah, that was a very sore spot. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to. Jessica says Bob Saget passed away from a fall, I'm guessing. Lou says he has mental problems, Carrie. Let's see. Eric says Gene has a very stone cold Gina's a very stone cold person at times, and it wasn't the time to say that. If I was Paul, I would have shocked at it. I would have shucked the makeup right. I would have shaked the makeup right off him. Well, that's the thing. A, they weren't wearing the makeup, and B, Paul Stanley has kind of had to go along with Gene this whole time, whether he believes everything Gene does or not. Those guys have ridden Kiss to the end together. So, how do we know that Paul Stanley doesn't agree with them? I don't know any of this. I just thought it was weird. Mr. Cole says an LB had to go get him a muffin with poppy seeds. Yeah, it's the whole thing is just odd. Travis says, could we do a quick poll on favorite Christmas carols? Yeah, I mean, if you guys, by the way, and I forgot to put it up here on the website, if you go in my blog this week, there is my holiday playlist for the year up there. And so if you're going to talk about holiday Christmas carols, there's a ton of them up there. There's Christmas with the Devil from Spinal Tap. That is a favorite of mine. There's Mistress for Christmas from AC/DC, obviously. Carol says he's a jerk. I watched him trying to sell his humongous house. Poor a-hole. Bish says, I haven't spoken to my dad in nearly 20 years. No tears will be shed at the funeral, but I won't trash him like Gene. Yeah, I mean, I just think pick a lane, right? Like, there's plenty of people I'm willing to trash in death, but I wouldn't cry at their funeral. And there's plenty of people whose funerals I'm going to cry at that I wouldn't trash them in death. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to do both. Mr. Cole says, Where Are You Christmas? And I Am Santa Claus. The Where Are You Christmas that Taylor Momsen just released, the duet with her younger self. You got to check that out. Friday, you are killing me. You're so heavy. Sit down. Go ahead, sit. Oh, you're coming out of your sweater. Let's fix your sweater. There you go. There you go. Nice and warm. Eric says Rob Halford has some amazing holiday albums. Hillary says a muffin with poppy seeds sounds like someone trying to get another person to fail a drug test. The 1957 Elvis Christmas album. Dominic the Donkey. Keith, hell yeah, an absolute classic. All right, shows are getting announced big time for the Xfinity Center. When they're announcing the outdoor shows, we can just start imagining the warm weather coming back. Hardy, Evanescence, Train, Chicago and Styx, Motley Crue, Tesla, and Extreme. Avenged Sevenfold and Good Charlotte just got announced. That show goes on sale this Friday. The show is August 12th. Also, Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner. Bush and Soul Asylum are going to be at the Mohegan Sun Arena coming up next week. Also, Heart is going to be at the SNH Arena in Manchester tomorrow and at the Toyota Oakdale Theater on Friday. Creedmas coming to the Mohegan Sun Arena at the end of the month. Ghost at Mohegan at the end of January. Kenny Wayne Shepherd at the Chevalier Theater in March. 3 Days Grace at the Mohegan Sun on the Alienation Tour with I Prevail in the Funeral Portrait. Cheap Trick at Foxwoods. Pussifer at the Wang. Lamb of God at Mohegan. And then Rush at Mohegan as well. There's just a ton of shows coming to the Connecticut casinos. These shows, I told you that the Leader Bank Pavilion schedule wasn't going to be vacant for very long. Satch Vai just got announced today. That's the Joe Satriani, Steve Vai duo group that they formed. That show's happening May 20th at Leader Bank Pavilion. Those tickets go on sale this week as well. Triumph at the Leader Bank Pavilion on June 6th. Youngblood on June 9th. Yellow Card on June 17th. Toto and Christopher Cross with the Romantics. That just got announced. These tickets go on sale Friday. The show is July 21st. And OAR on September 15th at the Leader Bank Pavilion as well. Friday, what? Guys, I need to turn the pug cam on immediately. You guys must experience the cuteness. Look at them. Guys, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? Friday, you're climbing out of your sweater. Come here. Wednesday, you're buried in, we can barely even see you in those pillows, snuggled up in your sweater, and now your sister's laying on you. Are you guys cold? What is the matter? Do you see this? Look at this. They're just... Wait, the hiccups. Friday, come here. Come here. Will you come here? Come over here. I'll fix your sweater. No, you just want to snuggle with your sister? Okay. Okay. No shows for Fenway have been announced yet. I'm still holding out hope that the Foo Fighters are going to extend their outdoor tour and they're going to go back to Fenway, but they haven't yet. New shows got announced for the Palladium, Clutch, and Corrosion of Conformity. Those shows, this show goes on sale this week. Also, Slaughter to Prevail and Magnolia Park. So all of these shows in April at the Palladium in Worcester. Roadrunner in Boston's got Echo and the Bunnymen headed there in June. Satch Vi, let's go, says Travis. Aaron says they're trying to hibernate. Rachel says they are so cute. Lou says can't see it. Lou, you can't see the pug snuggling on Instagram? Is it clipping the camera? Hold on. Why is it doing that, I wonder? Hold on, let me see if I can turn the pug cam back on for you. How about now? Can you see it now? Look at them. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what they're doing. All right, MGM Music Hall at Fenway's got some additions to their calendar as well. Sabaton and Pop Evil in March, the Dropkick Murphys and their week-long list of shows around St. Patrick's Day, Black Label in April, Lamb of God in April. This show just got announced as well. Bill Murray. Yes, they named the band that for a reason. Those tickets go on sale this Friday as well. House of Blues tickets in Boston, Nothing More, the Dropkicks, the Hives, Alter Bridge, Filter, and Tim Montana, and Wolf Mother. So as you guys can see, more and more shows are getting announced all the time. 2026 is going to be super busy. Street Dogs, Our Lady Peace, and the Verve, and the Circle Jerks are all heading to the Paradise Rock Club. And City Winery Boston has got the Del Fuegos coming up later this month and also the Smithereens in January. Nothing scheduled for the stage at Suffolk Downs yet, but they had a bunch of shows there this year, so you can expect shows to get announced. We're getting to the end of the year for the music business, which means not as many new releases are coming out, but Blur, Dorothy releasing a new EP, Sea Songs, also Iron Maiden's Live After Death, the vinyl reissue, Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory, the singles box set, Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here 50, and Static X releasing Wisconsin Death Trip, the 25th anniversary. Mail call, got some. Okay. I think that the Instagram cuts the screen like here. So if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on Facebook, you see the whole screen. But if you're watching on Instagram, it cuts the screen, which is why when I do a split screen with the pugs, it makes it harder for the people on Instagram to see it. Hillary says, episode 333, that's got to be good luck, right? I hope so. Bish says the Bruins are up 2-1. Bill Murray is super solid, said Shane. He's in the studio putting the finishing touches on a new album. I have been promised he's coming on the podcast. I just don't know when. Shane says, quick question. Am I the youngest member of the War Room at 32? No, not even close, Shane. I think there's a lot of people that watch the War Room, but they don't comment. Because I see the people watching, like the view numbers, and they go up like for a week after the show. And then the numbers on Instagram and the numbers on Twitch, which skews way younger, and Instagram, Twitch, and Facebook. I think Facebook just skews a little bit older demographically wise, but Twitch, it's younger. Instagram, it's younger. So 32 is definitely not the youngest person here in the War Room. There's just a lot of people that don't comment. They just watch just to watch. Lou says, thanks for making me smile and laugh, Carrie. A lot of pain today. I'm so sorry, Lou. Rachel says, Tom Morello did a song with Beartooth that'll be released next Tuesday. The latest patch for Final Fantasy XIV called Everything Burns. There's a ton of new stuff coming out. It's crazy how many songs are coming out and how many collabs and features, which is something that Des Rocks and I talked about in this week's episode about his dream collabs. Okay, mail call. The cards are coming in. Carrie and family, warm wishes for a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Love, Lindsay and Mark. Thank you guys for putting me on your Christmas card list. And then got this one. By the way, did you notice the shirt? The Bah Humpug shirt. This says, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Dear Mistress Carrie, Wednesday, Friday, and family saw this card and thought it looked like Friday. Wishing you the joys of family from Jessica. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Jessica, yeah, it does look like Friday. It's freaking hilarious. So thank you. I appreciate you guys thinking of me when you go out and you see cards with funny pugs and stuff. Okay, so we were talking about the Jack Rack earlier, that people are starting to get them because they've been ordering them and the shipments have been going out really quickly. So if you have not checked out the Jack Rack yet, this is the Mistress Carrie Jack Rack. It's made to look like a guitar amplifier. The keychains look like headphone plugs or guitar plugs to plug into the Jack Rack. And basically the grill is magnetic. The part that says Mistress Carrie is interchangeable so that you can order different bands if you want, but it comes with a Mistress Carrie grill and it also comes with 4 keychains, and this mounts on your wall so that if you've got multiple keys for things, multiple vehicles, or you want to keep the shed keys separate from the house keys, or the spare key, or the key that you take when you go out running, whatever it is, it gives you 4 ports to be able to hang 4 different sets of keys. Or if you've got 4 people in the family and they all want a place to put their keys so that everybody knows where their keys are, there's somebody in the family that's always losing their keys, get him a Mistress Carrie Jack Rack. By the way, they told me I'm the first radio DJ to get her own or their own custom Jack Rack, which is pretty badass. There's also the reflective beanies that are new in the store for 2025. And also the sticker packs feature the new stickers, the I Rode with Mistress Carrie stickers and the Property of Mistress Carrie stickers. So if you have not yet finished your holiday shopping and you're looking to buy something for somebody that has everything, the online Mistress Carrie store has got everything from coffee mugs and pint glasses and holiday tree ornaments to hoodies and t-shirts and tank tops. There's bartender tools and coasters and concert bags and beanies and visors and trucker caps. There's so much stuff in the online store, and we're constantly adding stuff all the time. Voorhees says Facebook is a Gen X space. Exactly. Yeah, but I am noticing younger people join because they realize that Facebook is where their family is, and Facebook has kind of become this family meeting place. It's kind of easy to hide all of the crazy memes from grandma when you post those up on TikTok and Instagram, because she doesn't have those, but your grandmother probably has Facebook. So, Mr. Tallman says, I'll send you a pic of mine all set up. That would be fantastic. I know you have a lot of vehicles over there you're trying to keep straight. How was the installation process on the Jack Rack? Was it good? It looked pretty simple. I haven't mounted mine yet. Bish says, Carrie was about to order the hats, but shipping said 30. Did I click the wrong thing? Shipping to Foxborough. Bish, there's no way that the shipping is $30. So I think sometimes the shipping on the store gives you options for like everything I ship out gets shipped out priority, so you get tracking. But I think that sometimes the website will offer like overnight shipping and it upcharges you. That was definitely wrong, Bish. So go and see if there's options. and see if priority is an option. If priority mail doesn't show up in an option, that's a problem with the post office application within the website, because I only ship priority through the post office. One, because I want to support the post office, and two, because I want it to be trackable and it comes with insurance as part of the shipping. So easy peasy, says Mr. Tallman. That's fantastic to hear. Okay. The Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, we talked about how I did the live stream. We're doing them on Zoom, so they're super interactive and fun, which is great. But we did one on Sunday. If you get a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, we do them every month. Plus, you can find out who's on the podcast, so you can let me know if you got questions for that person. When I travel, you get the travel blog updates. You get early access to event ticket info. There's also exclusive concert ticket giveaways. And I told the Backstage Pass holders that I am working on a list of tickets to offer up to you guys before the holidays as a little holiday bonus. So be on the lookout for that. Also, you get merch discount codes. And I do believe we are going to do another sale before the holiday that's going to come up possibly this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. Lou says it's $30 shipping for Agawam. That is false. 100% false. Lou, what are you putting in your cart that says that it's $30 to ship to Agawam? Because what I'm thinking is maybe the weight is wrong on whatever it is that you're putting in your cart. Keith says, Carrie, thank you for the inspiration. I got my work to volunteer at a food bank. 2 hours, 8 of us were able to provide 5,400 meals for those in need. Keith, that's friggin' badass. How cool is that? Yeah, if there's a problem with the shipping on the website, I need to figure that out, because that's not right. It should just be the only option is priority on the website. That's very strange. And a reminder of all of the places where you guys can find me online. So if you want to get a Backstage Pass, you can find me on Patreon at Mistress Carrie. You can find me on Twitter, on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Cameo, YouTube, Patreon, and Twitch. Let's see. I tried to buy a pint glass and a t-shirt, and it said the shipping was $30. Was it priority? Did the post office jack up their shipping rates? Now, if they did, that's not my control, but that shouldn't be. Mr. Cole says, for that hat, there are 2 options. Okay, there should only be one option. So I'm going to go in after the show and figure out why there's a second shipping option for the reflective beanie, because there should not be 2 shipping options. There should only be priority, which is the cheaper option, but also insured and trackable. So that's really weird. But I will get to the bottom of that, because there's no way that shipping should cost $30. That's crazy. Lou says it was the first option. Yeah, Lou, check to see what it would be if you did it priority. Put the same stuff in your cart and do priority and see what it tells you for shipping, not the expedited or whatever the super expensive shipping is that is coming up as a default. That's really weird, but I'm going to take a look at that. And one more thing I want to remind you guys, we're almost at 5,000 members of the Mistress Carrie Veterans Rock Group, which is unbelievable to me. When we hit 1,000, I was excited. Now we're at almost 5,000. I think it's like a little over 4,800 right now, which is crazy. And with the holidays, there are a lot of people that are looking for resources. They are looking for volunteer opportunities like Keith was just talking about. There are people that are looking to be matched up. There are people looking for jobs that are veterans. There are people that are hiring and looking to hire veterans. Yeah, Hillary says technology is great when it works. Yeah, exactly. Even online point of sale systems suck. Yeah, it's crazy that it just changes like the shipping options, which it should not be doing. That's weird. I haven't had a problem with the shipping at all for years. And now all of a sudden it's like trying to charge people $30 to ship stuff, which is crazy. Mr. Cole says War Room Service Day in the new year. Yes, I would love to do that again. This year's been a little out of control. Maybe we could do it in warm weather months, but yeah, I would love to do a volunteer day. I think that would be amazing for sure. 100%. So if you know veterans that are not part of this group yet, spread the word, post it up on your own social media pages, tag your veterans, tag your battle buddies, people that you served with, and let them know that this group is out there. There's a lot of veteran service officers that are part of this group that offer great advice and when people have questions. And there's a constant stream of events and benefits and resources that are available for veterans, Gold Star families, disabled veterans. So I love the fact that people are using this group as a way to get the word out on stuff. So that's it, guys. I'm going to go dig into the website and find out what's going on with the shipping stuff. One more time, I'm going to show you what's happening. Look at them. They're both passed out cold. Passed out cold. Insane. And snoring. You can't hear them, but they're snoring. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Episode 288 of the Mistress Carrie podcast has Des Rocks on it, and that episode goes live at midnight tonight.